Kawhi Leonard wants out of San Antonio. I never thought I would have said those words in my life, because I thought Kawhi Leonard would have been a Spur his whole freaking career. If you would have told me that Kawhi Leonard would be demanding a trade after the season, before the season even started, I would have thought you were crazy, because Kawhi Leonard has a pretty good team around him. I mean, they made the playoffs without him this year, and he has the greatest coach to ever coach, like, as his coach, and he has a bunch of good role players on his team. So like, I thought he would have never been traded. I thought he would have like been on the San Antonio Spurs his whole career. But no, he just demanded a trade. And this is freaking crazy. Like, it's freaking crazy. I thought he was gonna actually be on the Spurs his whole career. But no. And also on live TV, Danny Green, which is one of Kawhi Leonard's teammates on the Spurs, he said that he thinks that Kawhi Leonard wants to stay in San Antonio.
It's up in the air right now, but I think he wants to be in San Antonio. He's let me know that. He's let me know verbally he wanted to be there.
And then after that, I was like, oh, Kawhi Leonard is definitely going to stay in San Antonio, because, you know, his teammate said he thinks that Kawhi wants to stay in San Antonio. And, you know, why would he leave San Antonio when they're making the playoffs without him? But yeah, and then the whole season there were rumors saying that he was potentially going to leave, that he was potentially going to demand a trade. The Spurs were going to potentially trade him. But the whole season, like, in the back of my head, I was like, I don't think so. But freaking turns out he actually wants to get traded. But yeah, and now these are the teams that I think he might actually get traded to. And keep this in mind, the San Antonio Spurs are gonna, like, they could accept any trade they want, because it's not like it's free agency. Kawhi Leonard doesn't choose where he goes, and he doesn't have a no trade clause. So the Spurs could realistically trade him to whichever team, like, they want to. But, you know, obviously they want a bunch of young assets and a bunch of good assets and a bunch of picks in return for Kawhi Leonard. So I think there are only, realistically, I think there is only 3 teams that will actually be a good, like, trade offer for Kawhi Leonard. Number 1 is the Los Angeles Lakers. Kawhi Leonard said he wants to go to LA, preferably the Lakers, because the Lakers could give up, like, Kyle Kuzma and Lonzo Ball, or Kyle Kuzma and Brandon Ingram, or like Brandon Ingram and Lonzo. They just have to give up like 2 or 3. I don't think the Lakers will give up Lonzo Ball, because, you know, LeVar Ball said that freaking he wants Lonzo to be on the Lakers, and if he's not on the Lakers, then the team that he's on he's probably not going to re-sign with. So I don't think the Spurs would accept a trade with Lonzo in it, because then they will be worried that LeVar will make Lonzo not resign or something like that. I don't know. But I think the Lakers will give the San Antonio Spurs an offer, such as like Kyle Kuzma and Brandon Ingram and a couple picks or something like that for Kawhi Leonard. And, you know, maybe the Spurs accept that trade, because, you know, Kyle Kuzma is a young player, and he's a good shooter, he's a decent defender, he could attack the rim, and he was a steal in draft, and, you know, he's a pretty good all-around player. He could become an all-star in his career. And Brandon Ingram, I think he'll actually become better and become an all-star in his career. So maybe the Spurs will actually accept the trade, and there's picks involved. It will be actually a good trade for the Lakers, obviously, because they get Kawhi Leonard. So it'll be like Lonzo Ball, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George if he decides to sign with them, which is kind of likely. We'll still have Josh Hart on the bench and a bunch of other good players on the bench. So yeah, I think that'll actually be a good destination for the Lakers, and then they'll be a contender once again. And then the Spurs will get a bunch of young assets. As I said, they will get Kyle Kuzma and Brandon Ingram, so it might actually be a good, like, trade. The second team that I think he will get traded to is the Boston Celtics, because, you know, they have a bunch of young assets and picks. You know, they have the Grizzlies pick, I think, or something like that. They could give up like Jaylen Brown, Terry Rozier, and a couple other players, and a couple picks too. It will obviously be a good trade for the Celtics, because, you know, they get Kawhi Leonard, and then for the Spurs they get a young talent in Jaylen Brown and Terry Rozier and a couple other players, and future picks, so it will be a good trade for both of them. The last team is the Philadelphia 76ers. I think they could possibly trade for Kawhi Leonard if they give up Markelle Fultz and the 10th pick and a couple other players, but I don't think the Spurs are going to take a risk on an injured Markelle Fultz and the 10th pick. But in my opinion, I think Kawhi Leonard is going to be in a Los Angeles Lakers jersey when it's all said and done. But tell me where you think Kawhi Leonard is going to end up. But yeah, that's going to be all for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share, and I'll see you next time.